Greetings and welcome to Gloco Leadership Perspective. I'm excited to have an opportunity and to be able to bring a few things to your attention. And here we look at leaders and leadership, and we seek to look at them and bring them to you in a way that is palatable. And so the uniqueness of this channel is that we strictly look at leaders and leadership, and looking at aspect of leadership and in relation to the events and the leaders globally. And so this is not necessarily, actually it's not really a political channel, as much as there are things that are happening in the political arena that we'll definitely talk about, but the uniqueness of this channel is to extrapolate the aspect of leadership and to see how we can can get informed and perhaps learn something from them. And Gloco, the term Gloco definitely, it is a term that somebody coined that has both local and global connotations. And so that's why we began the previous videos by looking at Kenya, the president of Kenya, and also a few other events down there. And even today, we'll be looking at the opposition, if you like, and in this case, focus particularly on the opposition leader. And so, having said that, I want to ask a question. Is the opposition in Kenya currently, with the rallies that they are conducting, clear on the kind of the objective they want to obtain or achieve? Or what are their objectives? What do they want to achieve as leaders out of this series of rallies they are conducting in different places? We understand that they'll be moving from different places. Today they were in Kibera, and next week they should be in Machakos, and then as per their plan I've seen they will also be in Busia, and so they will rotate the country, selling their message and preaching their message. And as so far, can we say that we know the things that he wants to achieve with this kind of rallies? The reason why I'm asking this question is because leaders have an obligation, and the obligation that leaders have is to ensure that they tell their followers, or they are able to show their followers where they want to take them. And so the issue of vision and the issue of really the picture of what they what a leader want to see and take the people is very fundamental. In other words, there's no way people can follow you blindly. People will want to know, why are they following you? And this is the question that uh, we are asking in this episode. And so, what are the objective of Mr. Odinga and his Azimio team? Uh, and from the onset, I need to say, of course, they have a number of demands, and my objective is not to to state here whether what they're demanding for is right or wrong. My objective here is to look at at them as leaders and their kind of the leadership they are offering, analyze it and try to interpret it and bring to us and see whether it can help to inform us and so of course this can help in terms of decision making. And so, what are the objectives of this team led by Mr. Odinga? And of course we can, because he from the statements he has made, we can clearly see what we can see what the kind of the things he wants to achieve. uh, but so far we cannot clearly say that really it is quite clear, crystal clear. We can try to add 1 plus 1 and say it is 2, or 2 plus 2 it is 4. And so for this reason, there are quite a few things that he may be seeking, and one of them is the issue of justice. They have talked about justice, and after the election, they have indicated and tried to demonstrate that the election was not free and fair, and there were a lot of electoral malpractices. And because of this, the current regime that is there, they feel it is not a legitimate regime, and so for that reason, they are seeking justice where the election of 2022 is concerned. And so, if this is the case, then it must be crystal clear. And of course, they have talked about it. The other objective they could be having as a team, apart from electoral justice, we could talk about. Perhaps is a team that is seeking to constitute reforms, or to ensure that there are certain reforms, whether it is in terms of the IEBC, the body that was in charge with managing and running the election, to ensure that there are proper and clear reforms there, and that will be a good thing. And maybe they could be looking for reforms in other sectors, in other areas that has to do with election, other independent bodies. But of course, the issue of seeking or constituting reforms is one of the things that they have talked about it. So we would want to assume at this point that it is one of the objectives, and so these are things that really we need to think about them. The other thing which also we have seen come out of their statement is the issue of championing for democracy. And of course, all of us know Mr. Odinga, and we know he has stood and championed for democracy in Kenya and to some extent in Africa. And so, having been a victim, or having come up with a complaint over years, he could be intending to ensure that he is indeed championing for democracy in the country, and also in Africa, because we have seen him go around Africa. He was in Nigeria, he was in Dakar, I think Senegal, if I'm not wrong, but and also in Egypt, and he has been championing about democracy in his talks. And so this could be one of the things, one of the objectives, one of the intentions that he is pursuing. And yes, it is a good one, because Kenya is a democratic country. The other objective could be 2027 elections. as a leader, he might have sat down and said, what, we have an election that in the year 2027 that is coming up. So the best way to do is to reconstitute his team and to rally his supporters and followers as early as enough, and with a clear eye on the 2027 election that could be the objective, and we cannot dispute that. Or there are those who would want to look at it from a different perspective and maybe think it is a way of initiating disruption in the country. And so all these are reasons and objectives. And it could be that he wants to achieve maybe one of them or two of them or even all of them. And if this is the case, as a leader, in leadership, it is important to make your intentions, your objectives to your followers very crystal clear, and so that if they know what you want to achieve and even how to, then it will be easy for your followers to know exactly what you want them to achieve. And this is very evident in the rallies, because supporters have been demanding and asking that he gives them clear direction. And of course, then they want something else, and maybe he wants something else. And so leaders giving clear direction is important, and this can help the followers to know exactly what they need to do, and also how they need to go about it. So this is very critical. This is very important. We leaders needs to really do it, and them as leaders in the opposition or in Azimio party, they need to give their supporters or their followers clear direction, so that they may exactly know what to do. And so in the absence of all this, there will be confusion. It will be difficult to, as time goes by, to rally the supporters, and they will feel the fatigue. They don't know what they are pursuing. And so the Azimio party needs to be very clear on what they want to achieve. If it is all of them, then they need to make that clear. If it is a few of them, then they need to make that clear. But the underlying factor is that leaders must make their intention clear, their objectives clear, and this will help the followers to know how to behave, and to behave in a manner that is going to support their intention and support their objectives. So we hope that all goes well, and we hope that. And by the way, before I finish, it is important to note that the Constitution of Kenya allows for these kind of things. It allows, because Kenya is a democratic republic, and it gives and allows space for things such as picketing, things such as peaceful demos, and all these things are permitted in the constitution. So for me, what I would say, as in whichever objective they have, as long as again it is confined within the perimeters of the law, then that will be a good thing. And so far, the peaceful and everything, all is well. And so as be your party and as be your leaders, make your objectives clear, your intentions clear. I know in politics that may sound different in terms of application, where you may want to conceal your intention, but in leadership, this may have different implication, especially confusing followers and not helping them per se. So the King bless you, and the King bless Kenya, and it is well.